stretches in a southwesterly direction.
Sabah Park has the heavy responsibility to ensure that our conservation management produces results. This is because of the vast array of plant species in our parks that are unique, rare, and of great significance. For instance, the world-famous Kinabalu sleeper orchid, the Raja Brook pitcher plant, and the mysterious rafflesia, the largest flower in the world. These are but a tiny fraction of our priceless floral heritage that we are tasked to protect and conserve.
Similarly, the magnificent Maliau Basin with a giant saucer-shaped depression is another major conservation area in Sabah. It is rightly known to many as the Lost World. One of the many wonders of the Maliau Basin is the 7-tier waterfalls that is the origin of the water protection zone for the upper region of the Kinabatangan River. This river is the largest and longest waterway in Sabah. Its total water catchment size is about a quarter of the state's entire area. The scope of conservation is truly vast. A vital aspect is the ability to keep areas such as parks and watershed protection forests in pristine condition in order to preserve our natural biological populations, communities, and our landscape. One person who understands this very well is Tunku Datuk Dr. Zainal Adlin, the president of WWF Malaysia, as well as the chairman of the Sabah Tourism Board. He has joined many past expeditions to discover hidden treasures within Sabah's conservation areas.
Sabah, the land below the wind in Malaysian Borneo, is blessed because it is in the heart of mega biodiversity of the Indo-Pacific Basin in Malaysia, with WWF states that in terms of per unit area, both land and sea, in terms of mega biodiversity, is unmatched in the world. For example, it's the apex of the Coral Triangle, which is the marine epicenter of the whole entire world, whereby it's where is the cradle of coral evolution, with over 75% of marine species known to science is in the Coral Triangle. It's where Sabah is the apex. That is by the sea, which is the main epicenter of the entire world. But on land, the initiative by WWF, if you have 3 countries, 1 conservation region, and of course 1 ecotourism region as well, of Malaysia, Brunei, and Indonesia, where to combine together contributed 23 national parks of 220,000 square kilometers under national forest management, and in this context, it's the biggest in the world. Sabah again is the best of the heart of Borneo, and we should be all very, very proud of this and know all the reasons why to conserve.
Conservation plans for Sabah is thorough and widespread, from mountaintops to rivers, islands, and the seas. Such plans include the fisheries stocks management and the maintenance of marine environmental quality. The Sabah Fisheries Department is guided by the policy to conserve and have judicious utilization of fisheries and marine living resources in the state.
We have to bear in mind that exploitation of the marine living resources is of major economic importance to not only Sabah, but Malaysia as a whole. Our research on fisheries and marine living resources is directed towards having a better understanding of the marine environment and the nature of our marine biological resources. By doing so, we can formulate policies and plans that bring about a harmonious application of our marine ecosystems and biodiversity for human welfare now and for generations to come.
Another government agency engaged in conservation is the Sabah Wildlife Department, established in 1988. It is currently managing wild animals throughout the state, along with 26,000 hectares within the wildlife sanctuary in the lower region of the Kinabatangan. Contrary to earlier belief, field surveys have shown that there is a large concentration of orangutans, elephants, and the oriental darters in these lower Kinabatangan areas that were heavily logged previously. Since the late 1990s, the Forestry Department has actively supported a host of natural regeneration and forest plantation programs in this Kinabatangan floodplain. The Sabah Forestry Department has made recommendations to the Sabah state government on many occasions, resulting in a number of very significant amendments to the forestry legislation being passed. These legislative actions determined the main elements of the pattern of forest reserves and terrestrial parks that exist in Sabah today. Such policy directions have contributed towards the success of government authorities in conservation of wildlife, the regeneration of degraded habitats, as well as achieving connectivity of the ecosystems. However, a member of the state government responsible for the protection of the environment in Sabah believes that laws alone are not going to solve the problem arising from conservation and preservation.
I totally agree. Laws alone is insufficient. Human, raised by nature, like to break law. Basically, the reason why we are having these problems in the world is because people like to break law, even the law of God. The biggest challenge of the human race today when we talk about conservation is really managing human greed. See, unfortunately for us, there are people who feel that they should take everything now and leave nothing for the future generations. But I want to say to all of you that perhaps we need to sit down and think again that conservation must be seen as a responsibility of the human race, a responsibility for you and me, for everyone. That if we don't look after our world today, if we don't conserve, then there's nothing for us to leave to the next generations.
The government, therefore, recognizes the urgent need to engage the local communities and the public at large to be fully aware of environmental protection and conservation. As a matter of policy and practice, various government departments which are actively engaged in conservation work carry out a wide range of educational projects and programs throughout the year, either jointly or separately. The Environmental Protection Department and many other government bodies, like the Department of Environment, are actively addressing environmental challenges such as littering, water and air pollution, and the degradation of biodiversity as a whole. In 2005, the Sabah Environmental Education Network was set up to create synergy among various organizations in order to build strong cooperation and coordination among implementation agents. This organization provides effective network among public and private bodies engaged in environmental education and enables the sharing of expertise, information, and other resources in carrying out activities in Sabah. The Sabah Forestry Department manages the Rainforest Discovery Center, established in 1996 with the objective of enhancing public awareness on the uniqueness and importance of forests in Sabah. The main goal of programs at the Rainforest Discovery Center is to bring about positive change in the attitudes and behaviors of the public towards forests and the environment as a whole.
It's crucial for the state government to be able to demonstrate to the public the benefits of conservation and to drive home the message that protection of our resources in a sustainable way can be lucrative if we are willing to take a few extra steps. However, I must stress here that we will always be mindful of environment consideration in line with our aim to achieve sustainable development.
Conservationists do agree that there is probably no other location in Asia that has such a diversity of natural and wild areas within a single state than what's found in Sabah. There is, for instance, the Great Apes Survival Partnership Project at the Ulu Sugama and Malawa Enclave in the Lahad Datu district of Sabah. It has been acclaimed as one of the most outstanding United Nations environment-related programs in the world for the conservation and protection of natural habitats for orangutans. Now, climate change is beginning to bring massive changes to the landscape. Long droughts that occur from time to time bring serious threats. Indeed, the threats are real. The challenges are many. The way forward for the state of Sabah is to ensure that the sound and comprehensive law and order that governs conservation is known, better understood, respected, and strictly adhered to by all concerned. The primary objective of this documentary film is precisely to ensure that this ideal of a happy coexistence of the human race with wildlife, nature, and plants becomes a way of life for all in Sabah and elsewhere on the earth.